Yeah, I don't think Alana Jaylo.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Nice meeting you, babes.
Nice meeting me.
Yes.
Why would you say nice meeting me after you just called me babes?
That's what I call everybody. I
What?
call them babes.
Really?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Okay, maybe I should.
That would make you really, really creepy.
You were just asking me,
Mm-hmm.
does anything else happen with Lita and Ram? Because last weekend, we saw the episode where Lita and Bashir go to the Pleasure Planet,
Yes.
and it comes out that she has a crush on Ram.
Yeah, it was very weird.
But you don't want me to tell you for sure.
No, I don't, actually. I was just wondering if anything ever did happen after that.
There's so much I want to say.
Okay, well, don't say it because...
But that could mean anything. That could mean that they do get together, but he's a wife abuser. It could mean that Ram dies in the next episode. Maybe Lita ends up with Quark.
That would be odd.
Or perhaps even Commander Sisko and Lita hook up. You will have to watch to find out.
Well, and then there's Cassidy Yates.
And Lita?
No. Captain Sisko.
That's right. Or Rom could start running a harem on the space station with Cassidy Yates, Lita, and Dax, which would really upset Worf.
Yeah, it would upset Worf. But then, a lot of things Worf doesn't understand, though.
He's a very serious character.
He's very serious.
Yeah.
I think Dax is there to show him how to have a little bit of fun.
I would agree with you on that one, babes.
Yes.
Last week, before I left...
Yes.
You want some blanket?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. We watched the episode For the Uniform, where they hunt down Eddington.
Oh, didn't we talk about this?
We talked about me wanting to show you the episode, but we haven't discussed it here since you've actually seen it.
Okay, I thought we did. I thought we did talk about it on one of the episodes. But we can talk about it again.
What are your thoughts on it overall?
I think that this is a side of Sisko that I really, really admire and respect, because instead of defending himself, because Eddington wanted to make himself out to be the hero, because remember when he tells Captain Sisko to lead Les Miserables?
Yep. He sends him over a copy.
Right. Because he is thinking that Captain Sisko is a villain, and that Eddington all along was a hero.
I think, to recorrect you,
Yes.
I don't know if he sees Sisko as a villain. He sees Captain Sisko as misguided.
Misguided, okay.
But he definitely sees himself as a hero.
He definitely tries to make himself as a hero.
And Sisko turns himself into the villain.
Right.
To get Eddington to surrender to him.
Right.
So instead of just being a misguided person who's chasing him, he's now the evil one who Eddington has to submit to save the day.
I really respect him for that. Now, I think this is an example of being on offense, and I think at times you have to be on offense to get what you want, to get the result that you want.
Yeah, he killed several thousand people, but
yes, he did.
He got Eddington.
He got Eddington.
Yes.
But I respect him for that, because he was willing to sacrifice
those innocent people.
Well, I mean, I know that Eddington was trying to say that he was really the villain because he killed those people, but Eddington actually
provoked him.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Go ahead.
But he actually betrayed Starfleet, so he wasn't exactly innocent either.
No.
And that was a no-no on his part. No.
I like the episode, babes.
I did too.
Yes.
But I have a lot of respect for Captain Sisko.
I think he's my favorite captain out of all the main ones.
He's got a backbone.
You still haven't seen the original series, though.
I may have seen parts of it, but I really wasn't interested.
At some point, we got to revisit it, because there are some great episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, babes. But we can talk about DS9 a little bit later, Jaylo.
Yeah.
Yes, because we're going to watch some good episodes this weekend.
Yeah.
I came over here at around 7:30 this morning.
Yes.
And then you went to bed.
I really was, well, this, of course, started last night because at one point last night I really wasn't feeling good. I wasn't even sure if you could come over this morning because I started with this headache. It's kind of a pounding headache. And I'm like, oh no, and I barely have headaches. And then there was something going on with my stomach, and I thought maybe it was indigestion because I did eat quite a bit yesterday, and I was not feeling great when you called me last night, and then I went to bed about 10. Woke up at 1 o'clock. Didn't go back to bed until 3:30, and then I woke up at 6, and then you got over here, and I decided, you know what? I really think I should take a nap, and so I was out for almost 3 hours. I must have needed it too.
I would say so.
Because I feel much better now.
While you were asleep, I started reading a book that I had heard a lot about. Excuse me, I have something in my throat today. I always cough on this.
The frog.
Yeah,
it's becoming a habit.
Tradition. The frog is the third character.
Ribbit.
Yes.
Ribbit. Yeah.
It's like the passenger in Dexter. He talks about how he has this evil passenger in his body.
Oh.
Mine is the frog in the throat.
I am not familiar with that because I don't watch Dexter, but I'll take your word for it.
The first 3 seasons are amazing, and then it just gets ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
In any event.
You said that about a lot of shows.
Well, a lot of the shows do go off the rails, though.
Yeah.
Dexter, I think, does it worse than others because it starts off and it's so great. And then by the end of it, you're just watching this bad version of like a 70s horror film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you fell asleep, put my hands between your legs.
Hey.
That was a joke.
Hey.
That was a joke. In case your father's listening, that's a little bit of dad humor.
That's not dad humor.
Oh. What's that radio station that you listen to from Hawaii where they do the jokes?
Oh, it's Hawaiian 105 KINE.
Sometimes you'll be playing that and they'll do these jokes, but they're not funny.
They're not. Well, the one joke I heard, I wasn't sure what that was about. So I don't know. That was the one time I heard that joke, and I'm like,
And I came up with some ideas of jokes we could submit to them. But then you said, oh, this would be a little bit too far.
Yeah, I think so.
I've kind of like a dark sense of humor.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of morbid.
But sometimes it's uplifting, and it really makes you think.
Uplifting?
Well,
what is uplifting about it?
What's uplifting about it is it gets you to laugh hard.
I guess. Or I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of it. Sorry, I keep knocking it out of your hand. Yes. I keep laughing at the ridiculousness of it, and it's too close to my face.
Well, I want to get a good sound on you, babe.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Do you want me to move a little farther?
No, I think you're good.
Okay.
Yes. Anyways.
Okay.
You fall asleep, and I'm watching this YouTube video, because I watch different commentators.
Yes.
And one of the ones I like starts talking about the book Snow Crash. Saying it's this really great book and that everybody should read it. You knocked it out of my hand again.
Sorry.
That's all right. You do that.
It's by accident.
Okay.
Go on.
So I had heard about Neil Stephenson before, and I have many of his books, but I'd never read them. But I thought, well, Alana's unconscious.
Unconscious? Well, yeah, I'm sleeping, but I'm not exactly unconscious.
And I could do some stuff, and that might be kind of fun for a while, but what you got to understand is I'm a gentleman.
You're not scoring points here.
I'm joking, babe. I would not do... Hey, don't do that. Hey, babe, boys. No, I'm having some fun here. So, I download the book from Bard. I haven't finished it. I'm only about 3 hours into it, but it's really, really good so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's about this guy who, when the book starts off, he works for this pizza company that's run by the mob. But they're this elite place. So it's like if Domino's was super, super respected, right?
Right. Didn't you say they deliver pizzas to people in about 30 minutes?
They've never gotten a pizza delivery that took over a half hour.
Wow.
Like they time it down to the second. And if I remember right, the prize is if you get a pizza delivered to you in more than 30 minutes, the president of the company will fly his helicopter to your place and hand deliver you a free pizza.
Wow.
So they've never been late on a delivery.
Wow.
He has this really fancy car. It starts off, he gets this pizza, and the pizza was already ordered 20 minutes ago.
Oh, no.
There's a problem in the kitchen. There's a fire.
Right.
So this guy is driving through town, breaking all these laws. This lady grabs onto the back of his car and starts going with him. And they crash in this pool. She takes the pizza and delivers it. And it's... From the point where the pizza was ordered until the delivery, it's 29 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the guy. His name is Hero Protagonist, which is not the most creative name.
Hero Protagonist?
Yes.
Okay.
When he's not delivering pizza, he's also very big in the virtual world. He uploads a lot of information to this thing they call the library. Which is, obviously, it's the internet.
Right.
And he's well known in the virtual world. He helped start this company called, was it Black Star or Black Sun? I was tired too when I read it.
Okay.
And it's about his adventures. In the book, there's this computer drug called Snow Crash. I stopped it at the point where he's talking to one of his ex-bosses who takes the drug and then is disconnected from the internet.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Or from the virtual world.
And what is that company that he starts in the virtual world?
Well, the company he started helped create the virtual world, as I understand it. And it's called Black Sun or Black Star.
Okay.
I think it's Black Sun.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm liking it so far, babes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised that it was made in. It came out in '92 because it sounds like like it could actually be poignant to today's technology.
I was thinking about that a lot actually when I was reading it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it came out when we were very young.
The commentator who recommended it that I was watching earlier today said it's like a better version of Ready Player One, which is a book I love.
Yeah, and you told me about that one.
You haven't read it yet?
I haven't read it yet. No, that might be a book that I read once I get back on Bard again.
I would reread that book with you if you wanted to.
Ready Player One.
I really like it. I've read it twice, and I'd go a third round.
So it's between the reality and a virtual world, right? Because these kids go to a school in a virtual world, right?
That's the basic premise. The name of the virtual world is Oasis. And when it starts out, there's this kid that they're following who lives in a trailer park with, I believe, his aunt and her boyfriend. Everybody gets a free Oasis account at birth, right? So he can go into Oasis, but because he's poor, he can only do simple things like go to a classroom in the virtual world and learn things that are going on. What happens is the creator of the program died, I think, 15 years before the book starts.
Oh, wow.
And he said, okay, I'm leaving clues in the game, and you can get these tokens. Whoever collects all of them becomes the controller of the Oasis program. So you'll be super rich, super famous, and you can do a whole bunch of cool shit. This kid breaks the code and finds the first token. And then it becomes a race to see who can find the rest of them. Because you have to find all of them.
How many tokens are you looking for?
I believe it's like 5.
Oh, wow.
So
Only 5?
I think so. Now, I could have the details wrong. But I think it's something like that. So, like, when he finds it, he becomes rich and famous overnight. And then other people locate the tokens. So it's about these, like, weird adventures. It may actually be clues now that I'm thinking about it. to the grand prize, but it's a really good book. I've heard that the movies kind of sucked, though.
Okay. Oh, the Ready Player One movies?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They made one, and apparently the author is working on a second book.
Okay.
I didn't like... He's working on a sequel to Ready Player One.
Yeah.
But he did this other book, I think it was called Armada.
Okay.
That wasn't nearly as good as Ready Player One.
Okay. And why is that? Did you read it?
I did. It was one of those books I think I would have liked a lot more if I read it when I was 19 instead of reading it when I was 30.
Oh.
So it starts off, there's this kid who's around 19.
Right.
He never knew his dad. Mm-hmm. And through an odd series of events, he gets recruited to help save the world. And he finds out that his dad is one of the commanders on this mission.
Oh, wow.
And it was okay, but Ready Player One is really, really good.
Wow.
Alana.
Uh-huh.
What sci-fi books have you read? If any.
Not a lot. No.
Okay.
Not, I don't even think I read any sci-fi books, if you think about it.
Mm.
But then I'm not really a sci-fi person as much as you are. Although it is kind of fun to think about what would happen if we lived in a sci-fi universe.
I think in some ways we do.
How's that? Well, it's not like Star Trek.
No, but
or Ready Player One.
Star Trek and Ready Player One are their own things. But okay, we live in a time where we can send books to each other through the air, right?
Right.
We live in kind of like a sci-fi dystopian world, right? So we have all these upheavals in governments. Mm-hmm. We have all these diseases, and I'm not just talking about the obvious one with COVID. We have other stuff that are coming out all the time. I think it's a dystopian sci-fi world. It's not like an one where everything is cheery and upbeat.
Well, that's reality. Nothing is always cheery and upbeat, too.
No, but we live in a particularly dark time, I think. It's not that it's the darkest time in the history of the world.
It isn't as if it was like the Great Depression, but, because the Great Depression was really, really bad.
It was, but I think what we're living through, it's not like that, but it's the worst it's been in our lifetime.
Right.
And a lot of people are saying this is the tip of the iceberg. Things are going to start to really go downhill.
It's possible. I mean, I don't... It's possible. I mean, or it could go the other way for a little bit. I don't know.
You're more of an optimist than I
am. Yes. I mean, I don't know how bad it would go, downhill from here, but I will say this, that there are some things that are happening that are a little bit scary, like you've heard about 5G, right?
Yes.
So I don't know all there is to know, but from what I understand, China is coming out with something called 5G, and it's supposed to...
it's coming here, though.
It's coming here, yes. And I think it's supposed to be another way to find out what everybody else is doing.
No, I think it's just a faster internet connection.
No, it's more than that, I think. Okay. It's a lot more than that. But I really need to know what it's all about, because it doesn't sound... It sounds really, really invasive.
But we're already being spied on.
That doesn't make it okay, though. I mean, if there's a way to prevent us from not being spied on, I think, it's something to think about.
Yeah, go and live in the woods.
No.
That's the way to prevent it at this point.
No, there is other ways to prevent it. There are other ways. I mean, there's VPNs. People have VPNs now that can shield you from all of that.
But that's only on your computer, though.
Well, there's other ways to. I'm sure that there's other ways to secure your devices too, as well. Because, I mean, even though you may not think that it is non-preventable, I think there are ways to prevent it. I mean, not going on social media, finding alternative sites that don't track your searches, things like that, even little things like that. I mean, it's kind of weird knowing that devices are listening and watching everything you do. I don't know. It's kind of strange to me.
That's problematic.
It is problematic. It's very problematic.
The other thing that gets me is the collapse of safety nets, right?
Of safety nets?
Yeah. So each person has a form of a safety net. Some of it comes in the form of rich parents. With other people, it's like maybe you have family around you who could help if something goes wrong. Sometimes it takes the form of government programs. But it feels like there's this sense of the collapse of safety nets. Do you feel it?
I don't know that they're... Well, okay, so... I understand that there are some people that do have rich parents. I do not have super rich parents or a super rich family. Are you thinking about governmental safety nets?
I'm thinking about safety nets in general. Some of it has to do with government, and some of it just has to do with people in general. So I was watching this story on the news.
Yeah, you shouldn't be watching a lot of the news.
I know
it's so depressing.
Right.
Some of it is really depressing.
But you also do want to know what's going out there in the world, babe.
You do, but I would question the things that you're watching. Anyway, go on.
This was local news.
Oh yeah.
It was yesterday. We're doing this near the end of August. I have not been to downtown Portland since mid-March. They were doing a story about how homelessness in downtown has just skyrocketed over the last few months. Mm-hmm. Gone up dramatically, and it was already pretty bad.
It was bad, yeah.
And I've been thinking to myself, I hope that doesn't become me one day. And I have a weird connection to this because both my parents became homeless.
At one time.
Yeah, well, my dad's still homeless.
Right. Yeah.
So that got me thinking about the collapse of safety nets.
Yeah, I don't know that there is a collapse of safety nets. I don't.
Oh.
I mean, and chances are you may not end up homeless because you're nothing like the people that were homeless in your family. I mean, am I right?
I would like to believe that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to be. You can do. You can find other ways to prevent you from being a homeless person.
Wow, that was very surface level, but I appreciate it.
No, you know what I mean. You don't have to be the way that your parents were,
right?
Or you don't have to follow in anybody's footsteps.
One of the things I think about, though, babe, is with everything going on now. Mm-hmm. What if in a month or so we have like a massive earthquake?
Ugh. Yeah, well, I mean, like we talked about it before. I myself try not to think about it. I mean, it's good to be prepared. But the way I see it is, we are all going to die of something. I know it's kind of morbid, but it's true, right? Whether we die in a natural disaster, which would be horrible, or whether it's an illness, or whether it's natural causes, or whatever it is. I mean, we are not immortal beings, and so we have to keep that in mind. Having said that, it is also good to be prepared should there be one, but I try not to really focus on it because that can really consume your thoughts.
But what if one happens, we don't die, but now we're homeless, and the FEMA shelters are overrun with people at this point?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I would hope that doesn't happen to us in Oregon, because I can't even imagine what's going on at the Gulf Coast, because that's a place that has a lot of hurricanes, a lot of really, really bad hurricanes like the one that just happened. And I can't even imagine being in something like that. Hurricanes, tornadoes, what have you. Did I tell you that When I was in Vancouver, Washington, there was a very, very small tornado.
Talk about it.
It wasn't that eventful. I was leaving to go to the mall with some friends. This was when I was a student at the blind school, and there was like a something on the news about a very small twister, and it was very small. I mean, it was there and it was gone, but nothing really was damaged at all.
Okay. In 2009, I went to the Mercury Cafe, which is a venue in downtown Denver, to do poetry, despite the fact that there was a tornado warning. And I just think that stuff is going to happen, but it feels like the odds of those things going on is stronger this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like we're witnessing the beginning of the end.
Oh, there will be an end. It may not happen. It may not happen the next 5 years, but there will be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you believe in...
But I don't see it so much
Bible
as... Wow.
Well, isn't there a thing about, like, the end times in the Bible?
Oh, yes, I believe we're living in the end times, of course.
Oh.
Yes, but it's going to be worse for the people that are left behind.
Oh, well, I feel sorry for you, babe, if you're left behind.
I'm not going to be left behind. I may be dead before that happens.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to... Hey, don't tickle me. I don't think I'm going to be left behind.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You never know.
What if you get to heaven and I'm there?
Well, I would be very shocked, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would.
You wouldn't be sad, would you?
I would not be sad. I'd be happy, but I'm not too sure if you're going to get there.
I'm not sure you're going to get there, babe. What if I'm there and you're not?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get there. I'm not too sure about you, though.
What if I get there and then you die and then you're like, well, I'm going down the hill. Well, I guess we'll get to see Wick, okay? And they tell you, actually, he got in. You're like, what the fuck? Don't tickle me.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
How's that blasphemy? You know, babe, it's not too late to reform. Stop worshiping the bald god, which is what they used to call me.
No, you're not my god.
Okay.
You're not a god.
I don't know about that.
I think once you come to that realization, then we can talk about that.
Okay, what ifs?
No.
It definitely, to me, right now, it doesn't feel like things are going to get better after 2020.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that the state that we're living in is going to last forever. But of course, there is concern about chips. You know, those chips that now they have chips in cards, in credit cards.
The ones to track you, right, and to track your movements.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the chips in cards that you put. Your credit cards or debit cards that you put into the slots.
Okay.
You know, I know that there are a lot of people that are concerned with not having a cash society, which I think is really, really, really weird to have a cashless society. And I hope that's not the case, at least in our lifetime, that we end up having a cashless society.
See, these are great arguments that we're living in a dystopian sci-fi novel, right? Getting off of cash, government is tracking us along with big corporations, and we're afraid of natural disasters.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than sci-fi, though, because to me, sci-fi is another, it's not reality, but,
well,
you know,
fiction,
this
right?
is reality, of course, and yeah, there are. I think there's something to say about things that are coming or not going to be good. But like I said, I mean, I try not to focus so much on it because it really can keep you up at night. Because that could consume your thoughts, and you know you don't have to think about it all the time. I don't know.
I do feel better talking about it with you.
Yeah, because it's good to talk to somebody about it because, you know, there are people that really do worry about it a lot.
It's very easy for me to get into my own head like I did yesterday.
Right.
And just start thinking, oh, we're screwed. Things are never going to be good again. And life is just going to continue going downhill,
And I'm trying to calm you down from that.
Okay,
You know,
good.
it's, you can think that, but what is it really helping?
It's making me aware.
It may be making you aware, but why do you need to consume your head with those kinds of thoughts?
I don't know. I think also and I'm not saying this to insult you.
Okay.
But I made the mistake last night of watching some of the RNC.
You're not saying it to insult me?
No, because I do think that Trump is going to win re-election, even though I don't like him. And I've been saying that for a very, very long time.
Yeah, a lot longer.
What do you mean a lot longer?
I mean, not a lot longer, but yes, a very long time you've been saying that, like, for the last 2 years. Excuse me.
Oh, Abel's.
Excuse me.
His daughter actually gave a really, really good speech.
Yes, I did. I heard it.
But we don't have to get into the whole political thing.
Mm-hmm.
You already know my feelings about Trump.
Which I think are
correct, but you don't want to say.
I think they're null and void. They're not valid.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. But
not valid.
What I don't understand is why the Democratic Party is saying he's a threat to our democracy, but they're not even trying to really fight back. Like they're using nice words, but their actions.
Oh no, they're not using nice words at all. I think there's a lot of character assassination. Here's what I would say, because I've heard.
But from my viewpoint, they're using the right words, but they're not actually doing anything, or at least that's what it feels like.
Well, here's what I think about that. I think they're not doing anything because they know that they've been had. I think because Joe Biden, and we both agree that Joe Biden is really not the best candidate for the Democratic Party, especially not now. They know that he is going to flop. And I heard a clip of the celebration they had for him, right? Because he is accepted his nomination. It was pathetic. Honestly, to me, it was really pathetic. It was not even close to the celebration they had last night. And it was like there was less people. He didn't know that the streamers were coming out. He didn't even know that they were streamers. I mean, if there were any time that they could have pushed back, they did not. And all they were going on was character assassinations, the coronavirus, but there was no talk about policies. It was just, they're just saying Joe Biden is the best candidate for president, but they never explained why.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would agree with you on that. Yes.
I agree that Trump is a very, very evil person who's a threat to our democracy.
I don't know how he came to that conclusion, but we don't have to go there.
There's a long list of reasons why.
It's a media you're watching.
But
telling you false narratives.
When Democrats just say that, you're only making the first part of the argument. The second part should be what is Joe Biden going to do to put this country back on the right course, on the correct course, right? Uh-huh. So you can't just say Trump is a threat to our democracy. You got to follow it up with, well, what is Joe Biden going to do? Not just that his name isn't Trump. Right.
But then he has an outstanding record of 47 years of being, supporting segregationists, saying some really horrible things about women.
Trump said horrible things about women too.
That was taken out of context, Bubs. This is or apples to oranges. Biden had a worse record of that. A lot of things.
I believe he helped the Violence Against Women bill. I think he helped craft that.
Yeah, well, he's the same person that was speaking about that, and he was talking about domestic violence. And while he was talking, and I'm talking about Biden, while he was talking about domestic violence, he was making some kind of emotion, like he was hitting something. Which
shows, but that could have just been a weird hand.
No, it was not a weird hand thing. He clearly is deranged.
Oh.
He clearly doesn't know. No.
I need a kiss.
No.
Yes.
Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
I think this guy is Joe Biden is just, I mean, clearly he's just his mind is just going at an alarming rate.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit strange. You're saying Trump is a threat to our democracy. We have to stop him now. And the only one who can do it is a person with Alzheimer's.
Well, I mean, even Kamala Harris, who is is not a good vice presidential candidate.
No.
She did the same thing, but she never explained why. She just said, well, they don't want us to vote, so have a plan on voting. And I'm like, what is she talking about? I mean, she didn't make any sense. And then she's like, well, Joe Biden's the best candidate for president, but she never went into it at all.
Yeah, so I was
nuts.
I was watching TYT last night and their coverage of the RNC, and Cenk from TYT said that that the Republicans did. I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I watched the video once last night. He said that the Republicans did a much better job of making their point to the American people.
Absolutely, they did.
And he said a lot of it was lies.
No, it wasn't.
But they did a better job of doing it.
Would you agree that by taking everyday Americans, the nurse, the senators, the people that were working in New York public housing, former mayors, and then you have people in the military and a fallen police officer's widow, would you agree that that was a very effective way to really, really hone on your points?
Yeah, Trump is very good at propaganda.
Yeah, I would say the same thing for Obama. He was pretty good at propaganda also.
We
were pretty duped. I wouldn't say that about Trump. I think that he is, regardless of how you feel about it, because he was not a politician going into this, because politicians are pretty...
But he's a politician now.
It doesn't matter. He was never a politician.
But he is one now.
He is not a politician. He's
yes,
not.
he is.
He's no.
When you become the leader... Hey, don't tickle me, babe. When you become the leader... He's not tickling me. When you become the leader of a political party, you are a politician.
He's not a politician.
Yes.
Let me explain to you what a politician is. A politician is somebody that will say that they're doing all these things for you and they don't do it.
A politician to me is somebody who holds political office.
It doesn't matter.
He may not have been a politician when he ran for office.
But he runs an office like a business, right? He was a businessman before he became a politician. He's not like the other establishment politicians. You may think that just because he's in office,
that's my qualification for being a politician.
That is not
hold a political office.
That still doesn't make a person an establishment politician. It doesn't. Because the way that he handles things, it's not what a regular establishment politician would. And I don't want to get worked up again.
I think the one thing Trump does really well is propaganda. Now, when you look at his policies,
okay,
that's where he falls very short.
Explain to me what would be considered propaganda when it comes to the Democrats.
What do you mean? What would be considered propaganda when it comes to?
Because you're saying that Trump is really good at propaganda. Well, let me ask you about what you would consider leftist propaganda.
Here's leftist propaganda in the modern age. I believe that Trump is a threat to our democracy, and the Democratic Party is saying that, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason it's propaganda is because they don't believe it, and I do.
I think they do believe it.
They don't believe it. And we can tell by a few different things. The impeachment was a joke. Okay. They didn't go into all of his bank accounts. They didn't question all the people that they could have questioned about that. They did a half-assed attempt.
Well, first off, there was no strong evidence against this person
because they didn't go into the right bank accounts.
No, there was no evidence. There was literally no evidence to show that President Trump was guilty anyway. So they really didn't have anything.
They didn't look in the right.
They didn't have anything. Robert Mueller was a joke on the stand. It was a joke all around.
Because they didn't press in the right areas.
They didn't have to. There was nothing there.
There would have been
There
something
was
there.
there was no there.
If they looked at all of his bank accounts.
There was no there. There was no there, and they tried to make it into a circus.
There was no there where they were looking, but they
there was no. Even if they did look into his bank accounts, there would be no there because they've been trying to frame this guy ever since.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have. They've been trying to frame this guy, Adam Schiffless, which is one of the worst of the worst. Why are we talking about this now? I'm getting
well because we were talking about. You asked me about Democratic propaganda. I believe when they say that he's a threat to our democracy, I believe it, but I don't believe that they believe it.
I think they do.
I don't think
they just don't know how to. They just don't know how to explain it away. I really do think that they do. I mean, especially Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she's just a headache.
I think she's secretly a big Trump supporter.
No, she isn't. She is not a Trump supporter. If you've ever heard anything that she says, you can't trust whatever comes out.
That's why I said secretly.
No, she's not secretly a Trump supporter. She hates him. So does Chucky Schumer.
If Nancy Pelosi really hated Trump, she could do a lot more.
Nancy Pinocchio is what I call her.
Oh, yes.
She lies.
She does
all
lie.
the time.
She does lie.
No, she lies. I mean, she's making it seem to you that she's a Trump supporter, but she lies about that, if anything, or they lie about that.
No, she lies about hating Trump.
No, she doesn't. She really hates this guy.
Really?
Yes, she does.
I don't know. But
those media outlets you're listening to are just giving you a bill of goods.
Oh, give me a kiss.
No.
Give me a kiss. Come on. Babe.
No.
Ooh, you farted.
No, that was that was a door stopper.
All right, come over here. Give me a kiss.
No.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
Okay.
Gee, whoa.
Okay, enough about that. I'm getting too worked up.
You are getting worked up, babe. And I love you.
But he likes it for some reason. I have no idea why.
Oh, my goodness. Jeez. I love you, Jaylo. Alana.
Yes?
You've been having some egg issues recently.
No, I haven't.
I thought you were.
No. I think what happened last night is I think I just overate. That happens.
I thought you had issues with eggs.
No, I didn't.
I thought you were making your eggs right or something.
No, that had nothing to do with eggs. I think I ate a lot.
I said you've been having some egg issues.
Egg. Oh, you're talking about the scrambled eggs. I'm sorry.
Some hearing issues too, but keep going.
No, I didn't understand what you were talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
My hearing is fine, thank you.
All right, babes. All right, calm down. Calm down, babe. All right, don't tickle me. Don't tickle me.
You were just asking for it this
I love
afternoon.
you, babe. I love you, babe. Tell me about your eggs.
So it's been a while since I scrambled eggs. And I know how to do it.
I've never done it.
I know, well, that's because you don't like them. But I honestly really don't think that you've had really good eggs, so you can't really make that judgment. Anyway, so I haven't done it in a while, and I think the first time I did it last week, I made the mistake of putting salt into the eggs right away. That may have contributed to my very gritty eggs. And then I think I put too much salt in the second batch of eggs I was doing the other day. But I think I have a handle on what I did wrong.
So run me through this, because I'm not joking. I've literally never done scrambled eggs. How do you scramble an egg?
So basically, you crack 2 eggs in a bowl. Make sure all the shells are out. Put a little bit of water in there. Mix it with a whisk. If you want to make it creamy, you put just like a hint of milk in it. I haven't done that in a while either. And then you put them in a pan. You can also put before you put them in a pan, you put oil, cooking oil or butter to make sure that it covers the entire pan so that the eggs can cook. And you put the eggs in there and mix them around. You could put cheese if you want to, or some salt after you take them off of the pan. And you mix it around until they firm up. And that's how you scramble them. And you serve them after they're done. But wow. I think I know what I might have done wrong.
That's good, babes.
So I'm going to do it again. But I have been soft boiling eggs, and they're pretty easy to do.
How do you do that?
You crack however many eggs you want, maybe 2 eggs. And then, oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. You don't crack the eggs. You take the 2 eggs, you put a little bit of water in a pot enough to cover the eggs. And what I do before I put them on the burner is I put just a little bit of salt in there. Put them on the burner with the lid on, medium heat. And then you wait until, depending on how hard or soft you want to boil your eggs, you wait until the water starts to pop and boil. And then you turn the burner off, wait until it's done cooking, take the pan out, dump the hot water into the sink, and then you put cold water on the eggs to kind of cool them down. And then once they are cool, you could either chill them for a while or crack the shells and put the eggs into your bowl or whatever you're eating from.
I've heard Gordon Ramsay say that whenever he's considering hiring a new chef, he'll have them scramble eggs and see how they turn out.
I'm going to try it again next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, I will for me because I really want to get better at it because it's been so long since I've done that.
You planning to work for Gordon Ramsay?
No, are you kidding? Scary guy. No, I feel bad for his his daughter. Well, maybe his daughter is well adjusted. I mean, she's a chef too.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did know that. We've talked about that before.
Tilly Ramsay.
Yes.
Yep.
I've seen them do videos together.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a part he has in raising those kids, though.
Why do you think that they're not his kids?
I think that they're his biological children, but I imagine that he's probably a pretty busy guy.
It's too close to my face, but...
It's still far away, babes.
Is it?
Yeah, Phil. Over here.
It's right...
It's a distance away.
No, it's not. It's right under my chin.
Yeah. It's like a good foot under your chin.
Okay, what else? No, he just seems like a really, really, really scary guy. I understand that he wants nothing but perfection, but to his detriment. I don't know.
I don't know if it is his detriment. He's a super successful person.
He is a successful person. I know that he does command or demand perfection from the people he's working with, but I do understand why he wants people to scramble eggs. So that's a basic recipe.
Okay.
I understand why he would want people to do that.
I love watching his YouTube video. He has a lot of interesting stuff.
What kind of things did you watch him make on YouTube that you like?
I've watched him do these really interesting salads.
Really?
I've watched him... Sometimes he'll do these things where he'll tell you, okay, this is the type of equipment you'll need. He went to this grilled cheese sandwich that looked really, really good. Yeah.
What did he put in there? Did he put any anything interesting like pickles or?
I think it was just like a basic one, but he was telling you like how to fry it up just right, or
really,
or grill it just right, rather.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gordon Ramsay. Okay.
But he seems like a scary guy. I don't know. But I mean, I know that he's been on shows where he was trying to really get hotels back on track because they were just going downhill, and trying to get people to do better at their businesses with their restaurants and everything. So, I mean, he does have a way of doing it. I personally wouldn't work with him, but I wouldn't want to. And I don't. I mean, when we've cooked together, I'm glad that you're not like Gordon Ramsay, because I don't think I would be able to stand you.
Oh my goodness,
he's scary. He really is.
He doesn't strike me as that scary.
He is.
Okay.
I think he's kind of scary.
Oh. I'm scared of the world and the collapse of our society, and you're scared of a chef who lives on another continent.
No, I'm just saying he seems like a scary person.
Oh my goodness.
He may not be scary. I could be completely wrong about that, but just the way that he interacts with people. Of course, his demeanor changes when things change, but he just seems like a scary person. I don't know.
What media have you been consuming this week?
Not a lot. I've been listening to a lot of radio. I have been on YouTube maybe once this week or twice because I watched a couple of our episodes.
Oh.
I was trying to, you know what? I was trying to, like I told you before, I was trying to find it on a certain podcast platform, and for some reason I can't do it.
That's weird.
I know. I don't understand. I've found everything else on the same platform that I've asked for, and I can't find this one. Oh. Do you think that there's possibly any instructions to...
I've looked.
Really?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Maybe it's on their end. I don't know.
Maybe.
It should have been already up there, though.
Yes, babe, boys.
It should have been already accessible.
I know, babes. I
know. But it's pretty cool. Would you like to tell everybody what was going on with the good news of that?
Over 200 downloads.
Wow.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
Yes, babe, boys. But Joe Rogan gets out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but that's Joe. I mean, his is a nationally syndicated podcast.
It's
right.
Syndicated would be the wrong word. It's
out
there. He's super popular.
Well, not syndicate. You know what I mean? It's a popular podcast nationally.
Yes. Alana.
Yes.
No movies this week.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, we watched some last week, but not this week.
Right.
No.
I watched a film this week.
What's that?
Called Little Miss Sunshine.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best film I've ever seen, but I enjoyed it.
You thought it was funny?
Yeah, it had Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
Who, of course, used to host Later back in the 1990s.
Later?
It was a show that was on right after Conan O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
I think so it's like from 1:35 until 2:05 in the morning.
Okay.
And he would interview one guest for a half hour.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I was like 11 or 12 when I watched this.
Okay, and I did not watch it.
Okay, so I don't know how much of the story is true, but the rumor is that he had a director on the show, and he said to the guy, well, why don't you cast me in a movie? The guy cast him in the film Sabrina, and because of that, he left the show later.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the movie Sabrina, the newer one in the 90s. I didn't see the original Sabrina.
I think the original one is really good.
Who played the original Sabrina?
In the original one, it's Audrey Hepburn as Sabrina, Humphrey Bogart is the guy that she eventually ends up with, and what's his name? William Holden is the younger brother.
So, is it... So I only watched Sabrina maybe a couple of times.
Go ahead.
Is that when there are two men that are fighting over Sabrina? There's Linus, who is the brother, right?
They're both brothers.
Linus
One of them, in the original movie, which I've seen more, she's attracted to the younger brother. Mm-hmm. He finds out that she's in love with him. Mm-hmm. They agree to get together, but he still has to pretend like he's into this one lady who's his fiance, because a business partnership would help both families. Okay. So he gets his older brother to spend time with Sabrina, and then they fall in love.
Oh. So the younger brother has to pretend that he still wants to marry his fiance.
That is correct.
Wow. Yeah, I know that I liked it, though.
Yeah, I believe Billy Wilder directed the first one.
Right.
The 1954 version.
I can't remember who played Sabrina. I forgot what her name was. But I know I liked the movie, and I did like the music.
Oh, good, peeps.
Yes.
I just burped.
Yes.
Yes. Kiss, you heard that, babes.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
It was pretty loud.
Thank you. But anyways.
I do like the name Sabrina anyway.
It's a good name. Ooh, gee, whoa.
It's a door stopper.
Okay.
It's a door stopper. It has nothing to do with any bodily functions that you may be thinking about.
Good, you.
Because I know how much you're consumed with it.
No, you bring that stuff up a lot.
I do not.
I
do not.
Anyways.
Anyway.
The movie Little Miss Sunshine was pretty good. He's the father in it, and he is this wannabe self-help guy, but he's going bankrupt because he puts all of his money into this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it's about getting his daughter to this beauty pageant, and his dad dies along the way, the wife is there. Her brother tried to commit suicide, so he's living with them.
Oh, jeez.
The girl's brother, who is 15 in the movie, has taken a vow of silence because he wants to prepare for going to the Air Force.
Wow.
And then he finds out that he's colorblind. So they won't let him fly planes, and he just freaks out.
And is there anything weird happening to the girl? Or she just wants to be a part of this beauty pageant?
When she gets to the pageants, she does this provocative dance. She's only 7.
Right.
And she dances to the song Super Freak.
And you know how much I hate that song.
Yeah.
Do you think, is it the whole thing? The whole song?
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
And it gets a little bit corny because then the rest of the family gets on stage and starts dancing with her. Which I thought, come on. That's...
Of all the things that she could dance to, why did she dance to that song?
Her grandfather taught her that song. He dies on the way to the beauty pageants.
So he taught her how to dance to that song?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And it's relatively provocative.
For a 7-year-old?
Yes.
That's terrible.
The judges are like saying, get her off the stage, and they
really?
drag her off at one point. That was funny.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So I consumed that.
Okay.
Have we talked about the book, The Institute?
Off of this, yes. Off of this thing. I think we did.
Refresh my memory. You haven't read any of the good Stephen King books. You've only read The Mist and something else, right?
I didn't read The Mist per se. I saw like a dramatization on CD about The Mist, and that was a scary book. I didn't get over that until a week later.
Oh, we need to get you into some Stephen King, babe. But anyways,
I'm not really a Stephen King person, but maybe I could be. I don't know.
Yeah, The Institute was really, really good. I thought that they wrapped it up in a bow too nicely at the end.
Yeah.
That's my only problem.
By the way, if anyone's listening to this and we talked about it in another podcast episode, then we're talking about it again.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh, babe bliss.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, babe bliss.
Yeah. But it sounds like a good book.
Yeah.
It does.
Little kids are forced to do crazy stuff, babes.
Mind torture and physical torture, right?
Yes.
That's not good. And then they end up killing them. Not good, not good.
Oh, babe bliss.
Not good, not good.
I guess they're not too young. It's between the ages of 11 and 16. And then they get killed.
You know that movie Soylent Green that you talked about in the other episode?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like something that Stephen King would make.
Maybe. But
it sounds like a story that Stephen King would have written. But I think he would have done a better movie.
Yeah. It would have been more creative.
Yeah.
At least the book version would have been.
Right.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
But you didn't read the book, you just saw the movie.
I have no interest in reading the book version.
After you saw the movie?
No.
Okay.
It's like, guys, you can't be this preachy.
Ugh.
No.
About food, glorious food.
Glorious food, okay.
Now, I did not read Oliver Twist. I think Oliver Twist may have been written by Roald Dahl, I think. I'm not sure if that's correct, but...
I don't think so, but go ahead.
But have you heard of Oliver Twist?
I have.
Okay, I did not read the book. I heard it was a...
I think it was written way before Roald Dahl, but keep going.
Right, okay. But I was thinking about that song, Food, Glorious Food, and that's in the movie. I think I saw part of it, a clip of it, and, Oliver is this orphan that comes to this orphanage. And I don't know much about the story.
When are we going to get you reading again, babes?
Soon, very, very soon. I have to update my Windows.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to.
I would love to read some more with you.
I do too, believe me. I've been off of Bard for a few months.
No, it's been more than that.
It has it?
Maybe been like 6 months. It's been since the beginning of the year. I don't think you've read a book this year. Or you even
no, I think I was it really?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh.
I guess it's been that long. Well, I haven't even read anything from Bookshare. I need to what's the word I'm looking for?
Renew
my account. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you could at least You can at least start...
That's a door stopper.
Yeah, sure.
It's a door stopper.
Oh, it is.
Door stopper.
Stopper.
Door.
Killing me with the thoughts.
Oh, whatever.
Anyways, babes,
Nah.
enough of the tickling.
Why not?
Because. So when are you going to renew your Bookshare account?
So I think sometime this week. I have to. I wasn't successful with downloading the Windows 10 last night, but I'm going to try. Maybe this as early as Sunday.
Oh, good. I'd love to read another book with you, babe.
I want to read some more too.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes, babe boys.
I do.
I'm excited about tonight, Jaylo.
As am I.
You've never seen His Girl Friday
No,
or
I
Married
haven't.
to the Mob.
I don't believe I have, no.
This is going to be fun.
Married to the Mob, of course, is better than Mobsters, obviously, because we both didn't like Mobsters. I mean, I didn't really care for Mobsters.
You do realize that they're different movies.
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
I know that. But it does have the recurring theme of the mob.
Yes, but...
I know they're different movies.
Okay.
I know they're different movies. Don't laugh at me.
Hey, don't tickle me, okay? Just kiss your hand, babes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, married to... Who isn't married to the mob, by the way?
We've had this discussion before.
Have we?
Yes.
What?
I can tell you again, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yes.
Alec Baldwin.
The crazy Alec Baldwin, yes.
I like his politics, though. To a certain extent.
I think he's nuts.
Oh, you would.
Yes, I would.
That probably means he's normal, okay?
No, he's not.
Dean Stockwell.
Okay, yes.
And Mercedes Rule.
That's right, you did tell me that.
You know Mercedes Rule from playing the boss on Frasier.
She was so funny.
She was great in that.
Yeah, Kate Costas.
Yes. Costas.
I just thought it was hilarious, and I know we've talked about this episode before where Frasier and her are getting together, and she's like, I should bring my cat.
Yes, baby.
I should bring my cat.
Oh my goodness, you.
And didn't she say something like she grew up on a farm or something?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh wow.
Jaylo.
Yes.
Have you had any interesting dreams?
Yes, I have. I think I'll tell you 3 of them. There's a bonus third dream here, I guess you call it that. So, I'm not going to mention names. Instead, I will use different names to protect the innocent. Okay. So, in my dream, there were 2 people involved, and then you were in my dream, in the first one.
Was this the dream with my sister?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, actually, so that would be 4. Anyway, so let's call this guy
Nick Hamland.
No.
Instead of Rick Hammond.
No. I'm gonna keep your name because you already know you're in my dream.
Go ahead.
Anyway, let's call the first guy Brad. Okay. I haven't seen him in a while. He comes to my house. He doesn't stay for very long. And then he messages this other person I know. We'll call him Chad. And I said, what was that? And he goes, oh, yeah, Chad just texted me. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Okay. I'm thinking, they don't know each other. This is really odd. And so he's not there. He's not there for too long. He says goodbye to me. He leaves the house. And I'm like, okay. That was strange. I don't know what's going on. And then we talk that day. And I said, oh, yeah, Brad came to my house for a little bit. And he said that Chad was texting him. And you're like, hey, did you know what's going on with Chad, his wife, and the other guy? I said, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, yeah. They decided that they're going to... have some kind of relationship with Brad. And I'm like, what? It was very weird. Okay, next dream, if that's all right with you.
No, go on.
Next dream. So I had this dream that I went to I won't mention any names.
You get to say my sister's house.
I went to, yeah.
Which is not going to be your house, but much longer.
Your sister's house, yes. So I went to your sister's house, but the weird thing is that I got there and she didn't know I was coming. And so somehow I got into the house. I'm hiding under a blanket. She comes back with a friend, and I think her friend's child. And I'm like, oh no, she doesn't know I'm here. And then she takes off the covers because I'm sitting on a couch. And she's like, oh, hi, I didn't know you were coming. And I'm like, oh, wow, she didn't kick me out. That was very weird. And then while I was sleeping, I had a couple dreams. So I guess that would be 4. One dream was somehow I ended up at this older lady's house. And she gives me something to eat. I can't remember what it was. And she says, okay, after we eat, then I want you to play some kind of a card game with me. I think it might have been like canasta or something. Or I guess canasta would be with dice or...
No, canasta's a card game.
Is it a card game?
I played it a bunch of times with somebody who we both know.
Did you enjoy it?
It was all right.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think you told me the story, yes. So I think I was supposed to play some kind of a card game with her, like canasta, but somehow I end up leaving. And then the next dream, I end up at this doctor's office, and I don't have any shoes on. And I think they're about ready. The person in the office with me is about ready to give me a shot of some kind, but it never happens because I wake up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anyway, those are my dreams.
Very nice.
It's very weird. Yes.
Well, good.
How about you?
I've been having a lot of dreams this week, but they've been going in and out of my head like as soon as I wake up. The one dream I remember, I'm walking home from school. For some reason, I'm back in high school. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to blow it this time in high school. I'm not going to blow it. Then I decided, well, if I'm going to be back here and learn the route to home, maybe I should walk it. Or maybe I should learn how to run it. So I start running, and then I hear that Nelly song, I am number one, which is really the only song of his I like.
What does it take to be number one? Yeah.
But it's odd because I've always heard that song is a diss track against KRS-One, who I think is much more talented than Nelly.
Right.
And then I woke up.
That is really weird.
Yeah, babes.
I know, I mean, in the past I've been having dreams about school a lot, like I'm back in high school or I'm back in college or there's somebody from my past from my school or... Isn't it interesting? It seems like some of my dreams or some of our dreams kind of link us back to our past for whatever reason.
Maybe it's because part of our mind is still there.
Possibly, part of it. I mean, sometimes we've had some, thinking about nostalgic things and wondering, I wonder what it would be like if we were back at that time again.
WatchMojo.com did a video that I watched.
I love their videos.
Last night. I do too.
I love their countdowns.
And it was a list of shows that they're looking forward to that are coming out next month on streaming.
Really?
Could be shows that are returning, or it could be new ones.
Was that like a more recent countdown that you saw this?
Yeah, because it's coming out next month, babe.
Wow.
So it's pretty recent.
Okay.
Anyways, they talked about the second season of this one show was coming out on Hulu. And the premise is these women who are around 30 wake up and they're back in middle school. Oh. But they still look and sound like them. And they're going to school with middle schoolers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what the show is called?
No, I'm horrible with that stuff.
Oh.
But I'm sure I can find it out.
Okay.
It's supposed to be really funny, though.
Wow, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow. So I've never seen 13 Going on 30.
I have.
I heard it was a good movie for like a chick flick. I mean, like, she starts off as a 13-year-old, then she wakes up in her apartment as a 30-year-old, and I've never seen it, but I heard it was good.
In 2004, I watched it with this super religious, and I hate this, ultra-Republican dude. Very hypocritical person.
Well, there is one thing I do hate, and it is hypocrisy, but
yes,
okay.
Yes. And he wanted to watch the film.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, yes.
This guy who would pretend to be all righteous to your face And then he'd go behind, and then he'd like online, he'd do some shady
So
stuff.
so it was one of those like holier than thou people.
Yeah. But one of his act was he would pretend that he could only watch family movies.
Really?
Yeah. So we rented and watched 13 Going on 30.
And
It wasn't bad. It's not my type of movie, but I've seen worse.
Yeah. Well, see, if there's anything, I really, really can't stand.
It's not giving a blowjob for more than
Hey,
5
hey!
minutes. No. Go ahead.
Don't try to put words in my mouth.
Go ahead. Oh, it's okay. You just squeezed my nose.
I did. No, I really, it's one thing to tell someone that you're a very spiritual person, right? But it's another thing to turn around and do the exact opposite. And I cannot stand hypocrisy. I've met too many people that really are hypocrites. And I respect someone that says, you know what, I live my life a certain way, but I'm not perfect. And I know I'm not perfect, but I need to work on it, instead of saying, oh, I'm so perfect, but then in another breath they completely turn around and they end up being a two-faced liar.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can't stand. And I know too many people like that, and I never ever want to come across as being that way, because I know that I am not a perfect person by any means, because that's not how we were designed. That's not how I was designed. But I know that there are things that I can work on and that I keep on working on. But for someone to say that I'm so perfect, I'm so righteous, but then they do something totally different.
This person was also very judgmental. So
yeah, I don't like that.
This was the same asshole roommate I had, where I was watching TV one night. In 2004, I was not a George W. Bush fan, obviously.
I think,
but
yes. Mm-hmm.
I was also not very thrilled with John Kerry. Yeah. However, I was leaning in the direction of voting for John Kerry.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the news one night. He turns off the TV and he's like, "You're being brainwashed by the Democrats right now." And he starts going into this thing about how they're brainwashing me because I mildly like him more than George W. Bush.
Well, so I wouldn't do something as extreme as that. I mean, that's not right.
No.
I mean, he could have just left the room. He could have just done something else.
Yes.
He could have just been like, "Okay, I'll be back. I'll let you watch it, but I won't watch it with you." He could have just done that. But why are they, I just don't understand why some people are like that. Like, they'll thumb their nose down at somebody if they're not acting a certain way, just like them, or they don't agree with them, and they're just so critical, judgmental, and they're just hypocrites, and they don't.
My theory is they want to believe something, right, for whatever reason, but they don't have good enough arguments, so they know if people around them start to question their beliefs, they might have to examine it. And the best way to stop that from happening is to impose their beliefs in a way that makes it to where you don't want to question anything in front of them, so that they can live in this imaginary world that they've created.
Well, here, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was just listening to a program this morning, and the person that was talking about it was saying that he was talking about the story of Job. And there's a point to this. So, in the story of Job, he's going through all this stuff. I mean, it's terrible. He has boils, he lost his children, he lost his animals, But his friends don't speak to him for a while, because his friends come to comfort him. And he basically, they come to the conclusion like, well, God punished you. You're you're a very sinful person. God punished you. And he looks at them and he says, "Look, I have examined myself. I have looked at everything." And he's telling his friends that, "Look, you guys are wrong, because I did a full examination of my own heart, my own thoughts, and I think that you guys are wrong. I think that you guys are wrong, and I didn't do any of the things that you're saying. And the person in the program said, if you can't look at yourself and say that if you can't look at your own heart and see flaws in it, or really look and see whether your heart is full of integrity, then that's not good, because that's where whatever is in your heart you're battling. And I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Absolutely.
Because, for example, if I tried to act some kind of way in front of, I don't know, your family members or something, right? And up to that point, maybe I put on some kind of an air, like some kind of a front, right? Like as far as you knew, I was pretty honest, right? And then I turn around and I start doing something completely the opposite. I would have to be held accountable to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he told a story about, I don't know who the religious leader guy was, but he was on a plane to, I forgot where it was, and he was writing a review.
Wait a second, who told this story?
The guy's name is John MacArthur.
The guy who you were listening to earlier
Yes.
today. Go ahead.
Yes, and he was speaking in front of some college students, and this actually pertains to anybody. But so he was on a plane, and he saw this, like, I don't know who the person's name is. He was like a well-known religious leader, and he was really, really drunk.
Jerry Falwell Jr.?
No, he never said who it was.
Okay, that was just a guess.
No, he never said who it was. I don't even know who it was. But anyway, he was trying to talk to this guy, and the guy saw John MacArthur, and apparently he didn't like him for whatever reason. I guess maybe because he caught him drinking. And so John's like, well, I just want to ask you some questions because I am writing a review on your book, and I just want to get some things right. Well, he was less than kind, and he did some things that were polar opposites of what his organization saw. And so the review comes out, and I think it's like 2 weeks later, and he gets this like thick book from this guy, and it's like 15 really long, like 15 letters of people in his organization saying what a wonderful person he was. And he's like, I am sorry, but I don't buy that, because he just showed me another side of him that nobody ever saw. And so his point is that if there's something in your heart that you haven't examined, it's going to come out, and people are going to ask you questions about it, and you will have to be held accountable to those people, because you're not living correct. You're not living the way you say you're living.
So, I was making a joke about Jerry Falwell Jr., even though we're discovering that he may be kind of a freak.
I never said he was a freak.
But you've been hearing about what's been going on with him, right? With the Liberty University.
What about Liberty? Oh, do we have to go into this now?
Okay, never mind.
We can talk about this later.
We can talk about that some other time.
Yes.
But it is interesting to me that this John MacArthur dude will say that he had this run-in with this religious guy, but he won't mention his name.
Well, no, because he was well known, and he was talking to a bunch of students.
But why not say the guy's name? Did the guy do anything illegal? Or was he just being, mean?
He was being really the opposite of what the people in his organization saw. He just didn't feel like he needed to put attention to this guy.
So he's saying that this guy will be exposed, but he's not going to expose him.
He already did expose him by writing the review. But I think I'm guessing that the reason why he didn't mention this guy to the students is because he didn't want to put any more attention to it than it already got.
But he's using the story, so the story is already bringing attention, and by not saying that...
Look, I don't know why he didn't say his name. I'm just saying he never said his name.
Okay.
I mean, that's really... There's no more to analyze about it. Okay.
I don't like saying names either, maybe. But
that's what I mean. I mean, he didn't want to put any more attention, I think, on something that was already brought out in the open.
Okay. But if it's already in the open...
Bubba.
That's just what
I just told you why.
Okay. Doesn't but okay.
It doesn't have to make sense all the time.
Hey, you're tickling me. I notice you do that a lot when you get defensive.
You're asking for it.
You can't defend with an argument. You have to defend with your hands. Oh, does this mean it's armpit time?
No.
All right, stop tickling me, please.
Okay. For now.
I think that we should probably go.
It was a good discussion.
Make out, maybe have some sex, unless your father's listening. And maybe watch some DS9. Unless there's... Do you have anything else you want to say, babes?
You are certainly asking for it, and...
You're looking forward to tonight.
I'm looking forward to the movies that we were watching tonight. I think we had a really good discussion. I know that, at least one of us got worked up, and I didn't really like that too much, but it was good. It was good.
And
I'm feeling much better.
Let me give you a kiss.
Okay.
All right, Jaylo.
All right.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.